Hello everyone, I would like to introduce you to Marion County, West Virginia. It's in the middle of everywhere and full of history and fun, not to mention delicious food and beer. At the end of each of our broadcasts, you will catch a video on a different part of this amazing town, which has made our coverage possible. Start your day off right with a locally brewed cup of coffee and a breakfast meal from Joe and Thoreau, where you can learn how to throw your own cup of coffee on their pottery wheels. Not only does this town have two exciting and challenging 18-hole disc golf courses in Morris Park, but a short drive away is a step back in time at Prickett's Fort, where they featured costumed interpreters and demonstrations of colonial crafts. Make sure you stop by Summit Financial, which offers investment, retirement, and estate planning, life insurance, and long-term insurance. And after all that, enjoy a beer and dinner while listening to live music at the Rambling Root. We want to thank the Marion County Visitors Bureau and the Fairmont Flyers for inviting us out to cover this amazing event again this year. Now let's get the show started. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Disc Golf Examiner's coverage of the 2020 Seth Burton Memorial. This is the beginning of round 3, the front 9. My name is Bryan Keegan. I'll be your host today, joined today by Brad Schick. Brad, how's it going?
It's going well, Bryan. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And special guest Ben Creger. Ben, how's it going?
Going really good, Bryan. Thanks for having me join too.
Hey man, it's a pleasure. We've got to cover both of you guys before. Brad's been on commentary with us, and Ben, you were at this tournament as well. So what did you think of the first 2 rounds?
Well, just like any other round, you leave a few out there, and the first course especially is there's so many tree kicks that you just really wish you don't do that, but it's just a fantastic course, and it was just a beautiful day to be out playing.
And what about you, Brad? How are you doing in this course?
Good. So, second round went really well for me. You can see here I actually took a little bit of a lead, had the hot round, but it's a really tight battle. I got a youngster on my tail, Trevin Crowe out of Peru, Indiana. He's been on the road a lot this year. His rating is really on the rise. And then tied for third, we have Charles Behrhorst and Cody Bradshaw, both out of Virginia. So here we have hole 1. It's a really, really tough par 4 to start, 446 feet. Tough drone footage as well as throwing back and forth and through the woods with a very big slope from right to left. So this is really just a touchy hole, and it's tough to start on. You have a tight line right off the bat. So I'm actually going to give a little sidearm a play here and just try to get off the tee.
The forehand's a good play there, trying to get up to the right side of the fairway.
Yep. Yeah, that's kind of my goal, just to get myself in some sort of position to get the par. A birdie's a big help. Today we're actually playing the shorter baskets, which is somewhere I don't think I've ever played. Trevin absolutely crushed that one way up there and has a legit eagle putt, which is a great shot. Here's Charles. He's throwing a backhand, doesn't throw a lot of sidearms. This is actually the first time I had ever played with Charles, but really smooth, and he's got a really good touch shot on that drive there. So, and then filling out the final foursome here is Cody Bradshaw. Again, super smooth, plays out of Virginia, lots of wooded golf, and just a fun player to be around. So, all 4 off the tee on the first hole, and it was freezing. Ben, what was the temperature that morning like? High 30s, low 40s?
Yeah, it was at least 40 to 50 degrees. I was camping that weekend, and it was tough.
Yeah. There's Cody, a little bit short on that upshot, caught a little bit of lettuce. I'm kind of just stuck on the right, just trying to hit this first gap and give myself a chance, which I was pretty happy with that.
Yeah, going to the red basket there definitely allowed you to definitely get the 3. That orange basket is very tough when you're over on the left side.
Yeah, we played the orange baskets the first round, and then the second round, Sunday morning, they changed it up. So Here's Trevin for a legit eagle putt from about probably 45 or 50, and just hits low, and it's going to have a drop-in birdie. So great start for Trevin. And if you don't know Trevin, you will soon enough. The kid has no fear. Oh, a little bit of a bad break there for Charles. You know, he gave it a legit run, and then now he is totally blocked by that tree. So he's going to have a really tough par putt coming back. And this is Cody's putt for his birdie. Wow. Just barely off. And here you can see that tree, and it's the one thing in the way. And Charles is kind of stuck.
Yeah, and it's a lot bigger than it looks on film too. Like it really blocks almost every shot back up to the basket.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Charles gonna have to settle for the bogey. I am just lucky to get that across the finish line and over the rim. That first putt's always a challenge, but I'll happily take the 3 and move on.
Yeah,
Are you happy with a 4 on this hole?
You don't have that elevation. You know, the orange of this one has a big elevation. If you're on the left side of that basket up there, it's real tough.
Yeah, I would say this is a soft par 4, though. You're probably not happy with a 4 for most players. So, unfortunately, Charles, with getting stuck behind that tree, is going to take the bogey, drop a stroke, and a couple birdies and a par. So, hole 2, what do we have, Ben? I think we lost your audio, Ben. So I'm going to go ahead with this. So, hole 2. This is a straight shot, another really tight tee shot. It's going to be very, very a big finesse shot off the tee, I guess. I also go with the sidearm off this tee just to try to get myself up there. There's a big sloping hill down to the left. And if you do not get off this tee, you're going to have a very, very tough chance for 3. Trevin is also lining up the sidearm. Unfortunately, getting the first available, or one of the first available. He's going to have a tough up and down to get his birdie. Cody's sticking with that backhand. He's just very confident with that shot and has it just a little bit high, but he's pretty far down there. He's going to be in a good spot.
Yeah, it turned over well, and it kept turning over. That's exactly what you wanted on that play.
Yep. That's typically the disc.
Up to the top, you know, when you kick left down that hill, there's nothing.
Yeah, that is definitely a good kick. So here's Trevin. It's kind of stuck on the side of this hill, but he actually has a decent opening, but I would say he's still probably 275 feet away from the basket at minimum, maybe more.
Oh, that got in the circle. That's good.
Excellent. And there are a lot of trees to get by. So, fortunately, Charles hits us a tad bit early. Cody, same thing. Oh, actually, he got by. He's got a chance for his birdie. I thought he got that lit tree, but kicked down a little bit low. And I'm in a perfect spot. It is like the best drive I could have dreamed of.
Oh, what a terrible roll.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I was asking Bryan to kick that down, but he wouldn't on the camera. Yeah, that's just one of those. That's this course. I mean, there's lots of slopes, and unfortunately, it happens to all of us. So that was a little bit of a heartbreaker, but I still have a chance for the birdie.
And that pin location right there actually has a lot more chance of rolling away than the orange.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a shorter hole, but the danger is more of landing it right there.
Cody trying to save his birdie. Just thankful that sat down because that could have easily gotten up and rolled. This is actually a good camera angle to show you the slope. Charles trying to save that par, and that was
a great putt.
Great save, yeah. You don't want to give up 2 right on the first 2 holes because these are holes that you're trying to, you're really thinking 3-3 on both of those, not 4-4 or 5-5. So good putt, way to get back on track. And here's Trevin after hitting the first tree, having being in the most trouble and having a legit birdie putt, and sneaks it in. Yeah, just barely snuck it in. But a great birdie start by Trevin.
Well, especially from where he was off the tee, that is a tough spot to be early and kind of down in that left little ditch.
Mm-hmm. So Trevin picks up 1. We had a few pars and a birdie. So what do we got on hole 3, Ben?
Well, hole 3, you also want to either throw a forehand and have that break as far right as you can, or you can throw the backhand and let it turn over and be right at the base of that hill. And then you're throwing down the hill to either the red or the orange basket.
Yeah, and the drone footage today is going to be to the orange baskets, but we are playing the shorter red, but gives you a good idea. And this first shot, this is a tough par 4 in my opinion. You can get way down there, but you've got to navigate through a bunch of trees. Trevin tries this shot that I've never seen anyone throw. He throws a roller, which I didn't think he actually meant to do it. Find out later that he did. Very, very risky, but he got way down there. And this one for me, I think most people are trying to just play a placement shot right to the top and then pitch down the hill. And I'm in a great spot where I exactly was hoping to be. So,
yeah, the forehand you threw right there was right where you wanted to be. There's a tree right in the middle of the fairway that you got to just make sure you're left or right of. And then the forehand breaking right to the short tee pad was perfect.
Yeah. And Charles said before he threw, he just goes all out on this hole, that laying up has not done him a lot of good. So he absolutely smashes this one straight, gets the hyzer down the hill, and he is absolutely crushed. Has a legit eagle putt. So pretty cool to see him get all that ways down there. Cody's just trying to fight his way down and gets caught up again.
Yeah, of 8 drives on that hole that I was a part of, only one person was even semi down that hill, let alone, like most everybody was way the heck back there,
Mm-hmm. It's got to sit. And just like the yellow course up top, these greens are all so fast, lots of slopes, hard packed dirt, really tough to get them to stop, and especially this one just being straight downhill. Trevin comes up a little bit short, tries the turnover sidearm, and I think he just got it just a little shorter.
Well, and also since this course is such thick woods, it's a lot of dirt, so you're really getting a lot of skips. So trying to stop it on these side slopes is extremely difficult.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So here's Trevin. I think he just decided he got the first 2 birdies, snuck a couple. Taking a par is not a bad thing on this hole if you get caught up. Charles actually laid that eagle putt up just because of how dangerous it was and did go a little bit by it, but he's got a pretty routine putt for birdie. So that's a nice bounce back from hole 1. And I thought I was longer than that, but got in there pretty close and tight. So pick up another stroke, got one back on Trevin. Unfortunately, Cody got caught up early and took the bogey. So hole 4, 329 feet. I'm not sure the camera can do this justice, but it's a big uphill shot. You kind of go around the corner. The red basket's on the right there that you just saw. The orange is a little longer. What's the play on this one for you, Ben?
Oh, man, you're just trying to throw something flippy and have it just hyzer flip up that hill and take off as much ground as you can. This hole gets me every year. It is one of the toughest. It's the first big walk uphill you got to do. So it always gasses everybody.
That is an understatement. This is usually where the layers start coming off. You start the morning and everyone's freezing cold and gloves, and you walk up this hill halfway and the layers will start coming off. So as Ben said, I think the backhanded play for the right-hander, you're really just trying to split these trees. get it up as far left as you can, and it's significantly uphill. You will see an occasional sidearm on the right-handed throw to get that to stall out. So once it's turning over and then actually stalling back, you're getting a little bit higher up on the hill. So that's been kind of my goal. Great shot there by Cody. That was a big one.
But for a 330-foot hole, like I saw nobody anywhere close to that red basket, and that's the short basket.
Yeah. I kind of fell down this hill and I didn't really even see the basket. They said it almost went in. I guess it did almost go in. So again, just really glad that it sat down. Once you get too far away from this hole, you almost can't go for it. Even Trevin, this is his drive, and it was just such a risky putt. You can't tell, but the left side of that green, if he were to miss that, it's pretty much gone. So he decided the drop-in birdie's is good enough and walked away. So here's Charles.
And that kid has a big arm too, it just doesn't do this hole justice, seeing 329 feet, but you don't get that elevation change aspect of it, it's crazy, Mark.
I would say it plays 400-ish, 420, 415, something like that.
At least, yeah.
So a few birdies, again, a couple, soft pars, or soft birdies. Hole 5, this is one of my favorites. It's a long, sloping from right to left, and it kind of just curls around this hillside. And the red basket's right there that we're playing to. It's definitely an easier shot, but I'd still say a 3 is a really good score on this hole because the tee shot's quite tricky. You will see a lot of sidearms, and it's definitely a lot less risky with the sidearm, because if you do hit a tree and kick left, you're not going to go down the mountainside or the hillside. So unfortunately, I got caught up a little early.
Well, in just about every turnover that I've seen people throw on that, it always wants to eventually come out and start hyzering right down that hill, which is not where you want to be.
Perfect.
Yeah, that was a great shot.
Trevin's just 20 years old, I believe, 19 or 20 years old. So has been playing quite a long time, but I know he's in college and pretty busy. But he hit a lot of big tournaments this year. He's hit 4 or 5 of the Pro Tours and is hoping to get to a couple more. So such a nice kid, and glad to see him on the lead card and getting some airtime. So I am in the trees, not in a good spot, and I actually measured this out and I could not get an accurate measurement. I kept getting one that said like 250 and one that said like 320. And so I was kind of just trying to get somewhere in the middle and not hit something right off the tree in front of me. So got it turned.
That was a great ass shot with the forehand. What was that disc there, Brad?
Yeah, that was, I think that was my Zeus, if I remember correctly. I was just trying to get something turned, but have it stable enough to come back. So Cody's trying the same thing with not any turn.
Again, one of the toughest things to battle on this course is having the disc land flat and not roll away.
Yeah, it is. That's the game out here. So some people seem to get more bad luck than others, but it is an angles thing and having it land as flat as possible. So here's Trevin's drive. I mean, he's about 100 feet away. I mean, he's so close that he's almost like, what do I do? So he's had 5 holes, and I think 4 of them have been drop-in birdies, which is a good problem to have.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're hitting your lines, this course can feel very rewarding,
Cody is trapped down here. These trees are big. The hill's pretty steep, so.
Oh, man, that was a good camera view. I was hoping he'd can that. Nice putt, Brad.
Yeah, that's a good one to get out of the way. I don't love straddle putting, and I certainly don't love uphill straddle putting. So was glad to knock that one down. And just, again, those slopes, just Don't hit low, don't hit low, don't hit low is all I'm thinking. I would rather have Trevin's putt. So nice birdie again by Trevin. Cody's going to settle for the par, as will Charles. So moving on to hole 6. What do we have, Ben?
This one's a tough one. You got to clear it through this little bitty gap and have it just barely hyzering down to the left, where the basket is on a hillside again, and you just don't want to hyzer too far down the hill. You just got to hit that first gap.
I feel like I've seen more sidearms on this hole than backhands for the right-handed player. That's been kind of my go-to, is just try to hit the first gap. And I actually, they were like, it's perfect. And I thought I was just a little short, and I did catch those trees, unfortunately. But, hitting the line's the key here, because if you get caught up early, you can easily get into the bogeyville without much.
I had never even thought of the forehand on this one. This was actually the very first time that I had played this hole to the red basket.
Mm-hmm. Cody with a nice, just touchy, buttery, and that's exactly what you want. Great shot.
You don't see many tomahawks off the.
Charles doesn't throw a lot of sidearms. I know he's been kind of going to that thumber more so, but he's not a big sidearm thrower. And I remember he actually threw that and he was thrilled with that shot, because that was not easy.
Way to give it a solid bid there.
Yeah, it was pretty weak, I think, but it's one of those, again, side of the hill.
With the uphill right there, it was a big putt. A lot of distance on there.
Yeah, so much bad can happen. And again, Trevin a little bit off there, but luckily he did not get a bad roll away. So Charles getting a good save for par, and Cody's absolutely parked for birdie, getting on the board. So great drive.
Yeah, very good touchy forehand.
So we have a few pars and a birdie by Cody. So this next hole, this one is, I don't know. I've been struggling on this one for the last several years. It's a super tight window to the right. There's a little tiny gap to the left. The red basket is actually to the left that we just passed. This is the orange, but the shot on this one is obviously significantly shorter. It probably plays more like 230, 220, 230. And if you're throwing the backhand, it has a natural glide down to the basket, just out of a nice little soft hyzer if you're a right-hander. That's kind of the play. That was a little bit higher than probably Cody wanted. But he got a little bit of tree love there at the bottom to slow him down.
Yeah, my play on this one is I was just trying to keep a putter really low, and there's a lot of little trees just to the right of the basket where you're still in the putting circle. So I was just trying to throw it low into those.
Yeah. This is the first misfire by Trevin, just holding on to it a little bit. And this is absolutely I don't think you could draw it up any better. So excellent shot by Charles. I think he was saying that was a PA3, if I remember. He was just so pure with that thing all day. He threw it several times. So Trevin has got a lot of work left here. The window doesn't get any bigger if you're that short. So he's just trying to get one down there and skip down, and catches a little bit of tree a little early. So
looks like he executed it fairly well. It got him in a position to attack the basket.
yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, and this again, to just say it over and over, he almost is at the exact same place. He moves back 2 feet, and he missed the basket and actually hit that tree behind it. So you kind of regroup, determine if you're going to go for it again or what you're going to do.
And the roots are tough. You never know when you're going to get one of those little root rolls. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a great comebacker. So
that's a huge putt. I mean, that could change your round right there, because if you hit or roll away again, it just changes everything. So, you know, huge shout out to Cody for committing to that and just saying, I got this. Put a little pressure on Trevin here. Try to big putt, Trevin. No.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Awesome putt.
Yeah, Circle 2 at this course is one of the toughest places to be in Circle 2, because you want to go and be aggressive on them, but anytime you hit that basket, it's almost guaranteed to roll away somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I had too long to think about that putt. I walked over, I just said, I'm going to lay this up. And then I got over there and said, well, it's not that far. And I decided to go for it in a not a very confident way, and then walked up and missed that one. So, you know, it's one of those you talk yourself into, and I talked myself right into that bogey. So, not a good hole. Should have just walked away with the par and not gotten so silly. But we're off to hole 8 and 319 feet. And this is a tough hole. It's a really tight gap off the tee. The hill slopes from right to left. We're going to play to the right of this basket. This is the left orange basket. We're playing to the right, which is a little straighter. It's on a big incline. I don't even know what that thing is. It looks like an old concrete. What is that thing, Ben? You know, fireplace or something?
I have no clue what it used to be. Yeah, it looks like almost an old fireplace, like you said.
Yeah. So the basket's elevated up on top of it. It's probably about 6 or 8 feet off the ground. And you've really got to play this thing and fly as flat and straight as possible. It says 319, but I would argue that it plays more like 350, 360. It's just a little bit uphill. And you really got to put some pop on it and have it fly straight before it starts to hyzer out. So Trevin is losing it quickly and actually going down to the other basket that we played yesterday. So
I actually did this exact same play, tried the forehand at it.
Yeah.
It's so hard to get the disc on the backhand to go that straight, because everything does want to fall off and go left towards that orange basket.
Yeah, I didn't throw a good shot on the first round, so I went with the sidearm, just trying to get a soft turn and just play into that hillside. So whatever, take the 3, move on. Trevin's got about 45 or 50 feet straight up the hill. And it's so scary because it's another one. It's like, don't hit low, don't hit low.
Whoa, he ran that one. That was a great putt.
Yeah, let's give it a little examination. Perfect. And he knew it. You could see him raise his arm right away. Charles trying to follow it up.
Oof.
So close.
That's a tough putt, especially after someone was just farther than you and they just canned it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Cody had a great drive. He's probably about 27, 25 feet or less. Sneaks it in there for a great birdie.
Heck yeah, 2 birdies on that hole. I didn't see any birdies on that one that day.
There you can get a little bit of a sense of the height. It doesn't seem sometimes on camera, but it's up there.
And that basically concludes Birdie Alley. That's your best chance of getting some 2s on that entire course.
Yeah. Hole 9. I'm just going to let you talk about this, Ben.
Oh, the landing zone is ridiculous. You got to go a big hyzer up this hill, and then it does a 90-degree turn and comes basically right back at you. You're always stuck behind some type of tree.
Yeah, it says 231. I think, it plays much further than that because it's uphill. The par 4 is probably more toward the orange basket. I would say this would be a par 3 to the red. But there's not a super defined gap. There's a couple gaps. There's that Mando right there on that orange sign. You've got to go to the right of it. Trevin played it very well. I think the play is to play on the high side, just get it up in there somewhere. Try to not get too cute with it. And Charles, he hits high and kicks back. And he has a little bit of a hole. And I've been trying to go with this sidearm and catch the tree. And it's not where you want to be.
I was actually trying a
Terrible.
forehand roller on that one. I'm just trying to throw it high up, straight up in the air, and let it land and just try and kick hard left, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not to talk poorly about this. This is probably my least favorite hole on the two courses. I mean, I still absolutely love the two courses, but I wish there was a little bit more of a defined fairway or a defined shot that would reward a good throw and not necessarily a lucky throw. I mean, I think there are better throws than others for sure, but you still got to get a little bit lucky through all of these trees. So,
yeah, just about everywhere I've ever landed on that one, you have some type of reach, maybe kind of an Anheuser putt or Anheuser approach, but it's never anything good. You never get a full run up or anything.
mm-hmm. Trevin just laying up for the easy three. How long putt here to save my par? I guess it's a birdie.
And that's another one. I mean, the orange basket is set at least 100 to 150 feet past that, so that's definitely a par 4. This one, not quite as much. Real soft one for sure. Ooh, there's a big putt. Nice putt.
And that's going to do it for the beginning part of round 3, the front 9. I want to say a very special thank you to Brad and Ben for joining us today to do commentary. I also want to say a very special thank you to Trevin Keteles for doing a lot of slow-mo and camera work for us, and Brian Bowman for doing the T-cam as I was doing the catch cam. It was a lot of fun. Great round. I'm excited to see what happens next because it's starting to, there's some jockeying. There's a little bit of movement here on the card. I'm very interested to see what happens in the next round. Anything you guys would like to add?
This is where the part of the course really gets tough because you're just going downhill, then straight back up, and you do it like 4 times in a row. So let's see how their legs are holding after all the golf we played this weekend.
That's right. And until the next one, guys, keep banging those chains.